Hi, my name is Khanya and I'm from South Africa. So in South Africa, I lived in a few places. I lived in Khayelitsha, which is playing, also in the CBD. I grew up with my grandmother from the first grade. I lived with her from the first grade to the fourth grade. And the reason for that is that my family wanted me to learn English. And in South Africa, if you speak English, you have more opportunities, and just you're more connected to the outside world, because even though we have a lot of languages, English is the most used globally and also in South Africa. So I lived with her, and then she passed away when I was in the fourth grade, and then after that I stayed with my dad until high school and then coming to America. I have my brother. He went to the University of Pennsylvania, and he offered me the opportunity to come here. When he said that at first, I thought he was kidding, because to me it almost sounded too good to be true. But my family and we saw that as an opportunity to kind of branch out and to kind of explore different sides of myself outside of being South African. So coming to Hickory Grove offered me that chance to kind of get an American education, but also kind of broaden outside of my comfort zone as a South African. I came to Hickory Grove in January 2016. And how I came here is that my brother was looking at a few schools in the area, but of course Hickory Grove stood out to him. And then making that transition, it was difficult actually, because in South Africa, or wherever you are, when you're in a country that's your own, you really know who you are and you don't really question your identity. But when you leave, you're forced to question who you are, because you don't have people around you that affirm that identity that you've had your whole life. So for me, that was one thing. And also speaking English all the time, because in South Africa you have a choice of what language you want to use depending on how you feel or you're around. But in America, speaking English all the time, and also just learning to make friends in a new way, and with also different nationalities. And that's a cool thing that I've learned about being in America, is that you find a lot of different people from different places. And I've also found that at Hickory Grove, where I don't just have American friends or Asian friends. Everyone is from everywhere. It's like a true melting pot. Talking about my identity, I think Hickory Grove, what Hickory Grove does really well is that they give you an excellent education, but not at the expense of who you are and not at the expense of sacrificing the gospel to achieve that. And what I found here is that I have a family that teaches me a lot, not just about math or about English, but about who I am as a Christian male, as a Christian, those things separately, and how I can kind of reconcile those things with me being African and my traditions as an African. So I think coming to Hickory Grove, I've been able to kind of handle those two things really well in introducing people to my culture that makes me know my culture, understand my culture even more, and then also as a Christian, I've grown in my faith and how I approach the world, especially a world that does not really center the gospel. Some of my favorite memories at Hickory Grove, always the Buff Puff tournaments, for sure, because there's this big sense of camaraderie with you and your class. And also throughout high school, you guys have the same color. So that's kind of one thing where whenever I meet someone from Hickory Grove, I always remember that, oh, we did this together. And just Buff Puff, it's where you're divided class versus class, but at the end you remember that you guys are just a part of one big family. And then another memory that I have at Hickory Grove is like homecoming. Because in South Africa growing up, I used to see like American schools have these dances, which I was never really exposed to until I came here. And they also act as a reminder that even though you're working hard and doing all of these extracurriculars during school and after school, that you're still given a chance to be a kid and to have fun with your friends. When I graduate from Hickory Grove, I'll be going to Middlebury College in Vermont. I think Hickory Grove has prepared me academically in terms of, because when I got to Hickory Grove, I was not the best student. I had a lot of potential, but I hadn't really realized my potential. And I think over the 3 years that I've been here, the small classes, the kind of the individualized, because I think when you go to a lot of schools, they'll just give you a set track that everyone follows. But at Hickory Grove, my teachers have really personalized my learning, and also not just what am I learning, but how am I learning in a way that best fits me. And I think by doing that, I've grown as a student so much so that not only in my grades, but also how I approach learning. And it's not just I'm learning for the test. I'm learning so that this can be applied later on in life in various situations. And just in terms of classes, my classes, what I found at Hickory Grove is whether I'm in a math class and English class, is that all of them kind of have the same basis. And I've seen how, for example, I took computer science my sophomore year, and so a lot of what I was learning in computer science applied to math, but also applied to English. And I think sometimes when you're learning, you kind of think of things as separate. When at Hickory Grove, things are kind of, it was almost like a liberal arts education in that all of my classes kind of, they roll together, and I could use them. I could apply something I learned in one class in another, and all of that together kind of really shaped my thinking. And through that, I think I'm really prepared and ready to attend Middlebury. What I'll miss about Hickory Grove to Middlebury is, I think, the feeling of family, because whenever I walk in here in the morning, whether I have homework, tests, or whatever, there's always Miss Wilson smiling in the office. There's always Mr. Lamberger and Mrs. Smith, my friends, the American students. There's just this big feeling of family and of community, and everything's just really familiar. Nothing changes, and as a senior, that's been kind of my solace. Just getting here and just seeing everything familiar, and knowing that I'll just be at home really for the rest of the day. The summer of 2017, I was a counselor at Camp Locust, and that is in Lake Lure. Actually, through that, I met the executive director through Mr. Lamberger. I was looking for something to do over the summer, and he kind of pitched that idea to me. I didn't make a lot of it until I sent him my application, and I started talking to them, and I interviewed. And through that interview, I just realized that this is really what I want to do this summer. And as kind of a junior, you think that the summer going to senior year should be kind of easy and relaxed. But when I went to Camp Locust, it was not the case. However, even though I didn't kind of just lay around and kind of have fun during the summer, I grew so much. And also just being around young kids all the time, it's tiring, but it's also so much fun to kind of see this new perspective of growing up in South Africa, but coming to America and seeing how kids grow up and how summer camp is a big part of their lives. And I think spiritually, being around young people, other counselors who are in college, older than I am, and seeing how they were living up the gospel in college. And I think we all know that college campuses can be kind of a very stressful and a very, there are a lot of temptations, and seeing how other guys my age were kind of still Christians and they were still living by their values, even though they were trying to be college students at the same time. I think when you leave your country and you go to a new country, a new schooling system, nothing is more valuable than having a family. And I think a lot of the time we think of family as just blood relatives, but by coming to Hickory Grove, I've learned that family extends far beyond that. And at Hickory Grove, you have people that don't just care about you as a student, but care about you as a person, and they work really hard towards making you feel comfortable, helping you apply to college, because the college system gets very different to wherever you are in the world. But coming to Hickory Grove, you're gonna have so much fun. You're gonna learn a lot. But just in Charlotte, there's so much to do, and also on campus, there are tons of groups and clubs, and you'll just find yourself growing spiritually and academically in ways you never thought possible.